Hey everybody, this is Geneva of Geneva's Closet Talk Show. How are you doing this morning? Here in my Chicago, Midwest, Illinois time. It is 9:13 a.m. people. I hope you're having a fabulous morning. I decided that I wanted to come on and do this video um, just because wanted to let the city of Dallas know that we haven't forgotten about Botham Shem. We definitely have not forgotten about him. I know I haven't, because every few days, maybe once a week, um, I've been doing random Google searches just to see if they've came out with any other information or any other news on Botham Shem or Amber Geiger. And every time I do that, I may find something small, which I'll get into today. um, but yeah, but in addition to me sitting back being like, I wonder what's going on with the case, I have been receiving messages from other people that's like, yeah, Geneva, do your thing, and don't forget about Botham Shem, and Geneva, yeah, woo, 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 and we have not forgotten about Botham John. So I said, you know what? Well, let me do this video today to let the city of Dallas know we have not forgotten. To be perfectly honest with you, we actually haven't forgotten about a lot of people that has been killed. We haven't forgot about them, but this whole Botham Shem case was just a little shocking to us, surprising, appalling. It was a doggone shame, just because how this black man was killed in his own place. He wasn't out on the street walking around, driving, doing anything. He was sitting in his own apartment when he was killed. So you all know Botham Shem. Let's go over some things right quick. Botham Shem was killed September 6th, probably about 10 p.m. In Dallas, Texas. How old was he? He was 26 years old, and he was killed by a 30-year-old Dallas police officer by the name of Amber Geiger. And Amber Geiger was supposedly on the police force for 4 years before she killed Botham Shem, even though she had some altercations with another man that she had shot, I think, a year or two or something before. But nevertheless, she was 30 years old and had been on a police force for 4 years. Now, according to my little research that I did, Botham had just moved inside the Southside Flats apartment in Dallas, Texas in August of 2018. So he hadn't even been there that long. And then in September 6, 2018, so this is what Amber says. Amber said that she had did a 14-hour shift. And mind you, like I've said in the other videos, things kept changing. 16 hours, 15, 14. Nevertheless, she said she did about over 12-hour shift, 14 hours, and she was delirious. And she accidentally parked on the 4th floor instead of the 13th floor where she stayed at, because she was supposedly had stayed apartment 1378, and Botham stayed, I think, 1478. I think that's exactly how it went. So she was so delirious after working this 14-hour shift that she accidentally parked on the 4th floor instead of the 3rd floor. So then she went to Botham's apartment. Now, we all know, because we've seen the news and I've talked about it and other people done talked about it, that there was a huge red fire engine U-shaped rug sitting in front of Botham's apartment. Nevertheless, she didn't see that. And she said she stuck her key inside the door. And, and when she put her key in, then the door was already, ajar. That's what she said. The door was ajar. So it just popped open, and then she seen a silhouette. Then she yelled out, "Who is that? Who is that?" And then the silhouette didn't say nothing. And she pulled out a gun, shot twice, and shot and killed Botham Shem, shot him in the stomach/torso area, and killed the man. And what was Botham doing at the time that she went in there and killed him? He wasn't doing nothing. He was sitting up there watching a game. It was a game that was on. I can't remember what game it was, but he was watching a game. And if I'm not mistaken, they said on the phone texting his girlfriend. And the lights were off, and he was on his laptop. That's what he was doing. And they said a book was sitting there by him. He could have been reading. Don't know. The man was in his own place. But then she goes in there and then she shoots him. And then, based on what she said, I don't even know, because they came out with the affidavit, something about she, runs inside, or she goes inside, and then she must have gave him some medical care, because end up finding out later on that some used medical items were found there. And then her vest and stuff too was found. And that was kind of crazy to me, because I'm like, the vest, don't you got to put it over your head and close it or lock it or snap it or something on the side. So what did she do? Did she go inside and take her full vest off? Why are you inside of a dead man's apartment that you done sat there and killed and taken off your vest? Nevertheless, this is what they say. And then something about she called the police, and because at the time she's still thinking that this is her apartment, and then the police say something to her about where are you at, but even though she think this is her apartment and he say where are you at, she steps out and then looks and say, oh my god, this is 1478, this is not even my apartment, or whatever the case may be, which doesn't make any sense to me, because you would think if she thought that someone burglarized her apartment, that someone had came into her apartment, and you still, after you done came in, you still didn't realize that was him, that this wasn't your apartment, and then you shot him, you would have thought that she would have went in there, like I said in my other videos, and checking it out. Is anyone else in this apartment? So she didn't even realize it was hers. But she didn't say that she did that in the affidavit. But then again, this whole thing was very confusing to us anyways, because we were trying to figure out, there's a light in the hallway, so we're trying to figure out why she didn't see in the apartment from the light being on in the hallway. But yeah, she didn't see that either. Then I had said before that everyone apartments have sounds, have smells or something to it, but I guess she didn't tell the smell of her apartment either. And then when you come in the door, there is a light, if I'm not mistaken. She didn't even flick the light on. She didn't do any of that. But then again, wait a minute. She never even said she turned the light on when she went inside the apartment and she started giving him medical care. So was she giving him, that whole thing is off. So you went in an apartment, you gave him medical care. And when she gave him medical care, was the lights were still off? What do y'all think? So she went in there and shot him. So she shot him, then she went inside. And then when she went inside, did the door slam behind her? Because we all seen how the door works. Did the door slam behind her when she went inside, then making it completely dark? And you still didn't realize it was your apartment because you didn't turn no lights on, and you called the police and you had to step out. 1478. Girls, guys, we know that whole story don't make any sense. But nevertheless, she killed him September 6th. We would have thought that she would have got arrested then. 3 days later is when she turns herself in, and then she's given this $300,000 bond, and then she sits in there for about a few hours and then bond herself out. So $300,000. Did she have to pay $30,000 to get out? I'm assuming maybe she had to pay $30,000 to get out. And did she even pay the $30,000? Did they just waive it? Was that like an I bond? Because they can tell us anything that she paid the $30,000. She didn't even pay no $30,000. But anyway, the police officer got 3 days to be free. And that's what she got. Then they said that they ended up putting the Texas Rangers on the case. The Dallas Police Department didn't want to handle it. They wanted to give it to the Texas Rangers. Didn't completely understand that, because we would have thought that they would have did it. But whatever, they give it to the Texas Rangers. Then we end up finding out that one of the Texas Rangers, what is his name? David Armstrong, was black. I was like, what? I had no idea, because I had been talking the whole time thinking that the Dallas Texas Ranger was white, but come to find out he was a black man. And then on September 24th, so from September 29th to September 24th, that's when she was finally fired. Yeah, it took a while for them to decide to fire her. But then again, the Dallas police chief, Renee Hall, she was giving excuses because everyone was looking at her, and come to find out she was black. Who are you? Everyone was black in this case. She came out with some lame excuses that wasn't no one really even falling for her reasons for not arresting him. And she says something about, firing Amber Geiger was prohibited, that she was prohibited from firing her due to civil service laws. Now, this is what she was saying before, but then Amber ended up going in front of something. She ended up going in front of, what did she end up going in front of? Something. I can't even remember. Some council or something that is allowed to decide if she should, since she had a felony, if you've been charged with a felony, then they have the authority to fire you. And since she had been charged with manslaughter, not murder, they didn't charge her with murder. No, murder. Y'all thought they did? No, they didn't do that. It was manslaughter. They charged her with manslaughter. So since she had been charged with that, with a felony, then they were able to fire her, which really kind of contradicted and made the police chief, Renee Hall, looks stupid because you had just said that you were prohibited from firing her due to civil service laws. And then these other people end up bringing her in and doing that little hearing or whatever they did, and they end up firing her. Nevertheless, that's what ended up happening. So then an affidavit ended up coming out, like, and I end up kind of sort of going over that, saying what Amber Geiger said, which really didn't make any sense to us. And then on September 26th, so she was fired September 24th. On the 26th, her family sues Dallas. And basically the family is, you know, don't we feel so sorry for the family that they have to sit up here and go through this? So the family sues them. And then September 29th, he makes, September 29th was Botham Shem John's birthday, and he would have been 27 years old. And then what else happened? And then we had the protest. Don't you remember that supporters of Botham Shem John went out there and protested, and then they were arrested and actually sat in jail for a few days. Can you believe that? They sat in jail for a few days for protesting, but then Amber, she was allowed 3 days to be free after she went in Botham's apartment and killed him. And then almost like 2 weeks later, before this woman was even charged, but yeah, the protesters, they sat in jail for a while and, you know, was charged and everything for that. So then that news ended up coming out. Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot. On September 11th is when we had a chance to see how the door actually worked. So the affidavit came out September 9th to 10th. The 11th is when the affidavit, no, is when we started hearing about the door. Started seeing videos about the door, finding out, wait a minute, lady, Amber Geiger, you lied, because you cannot just stick the key in and the door just be ajar, because this is one of these heavy doors that just automatically slam. Y'all seen the videos. You already know about that. I got the videos showing about the door. I got about 2 videos showing about how the door works with the key. When you stick the key in, how if it's not the right key, then a red dot will pop up. And if it is the right key, then a green dot will pop up, just like when you're using them hotel key cards or whatever, how the dots and the stuff like this is all the same. Then September 14th is when they did that search warrant. Don't you remember when they did that search warrant talking about that they found that weed up in there? And then they were saying that they found some weed and a grinder. And the funny thing about that is when them articles first came out, that's all they talked about. They talked about the weed and the grinder. That was the very first thing that they mentioned with the search warrant. And then they were trying to imply, come on, people, we're not stupid. They were trying to imply that that was Botham Shem John's weed and weed grinder. Then what was it? Was it later that day or the next day? Then articles started coming out talking about that everything that they found in the search warrant. I was like, what? It was more things you found in the search warrant? But then this is how they put the title of those articles, that other things was found, or inside the articles, that other things was found, like police equipment, the weed and the weed grinder, some used medical equipment, but they couldn't say whose it was. What? Police equipment? You can't say who else police equipment could it be? Amber's. Now you damn near implied that the weed and the weed grinder, which was the only thing that you had mentioned before when you talked about the search warrant, almost implied that that was Botham's. But then when you start releasing other information that was found in the search warrant about the police equipment and the used medical, you don't want to say who that is. You can't imply, you can't say who it is. Like, okay, whatever, people. And then September 18th, police chief Renee Hall was slammed for basically not doing what she was supposed to be doing. And yeah, we don't really think that, you know, we just feel like that, yeah, maybe she can only do so much because she's black in Dallas. Dallas is white, it's the South. Like, I don't really know what she can do. You know, they're telling her, I wonder, did she really want to go hard for this case? I wonder how did they really feel when they found out that this white woman went up in his place and shot him. You know, like, is this something that they were angry about and they really wanted to fight about it? I wonder, like, when they go home, when they went home, that they talk to their family about it and say, this is a shame. like this woman needs to be arrested, but then they just haven't done it. Wait a minute, I almost forgot to bring up this part. And then don't you remember we seen a video of Amber Geiger walking back and forth in the apartment, the hallways of the apartment of the South Side Flats. We seen her walking back and forth, and we seen a video of the paramedics doing whatever they were doing to Botham John when he was rolling him out on the bed. And then that video was caught by some people, and people were actually saying that they heard, before Botham got killed, they heard people knocking on his door. They heard Amber knocking on the door saying, "Let me in," or something like that. And then after the shooting, they heard Botham say, "I can't believe you did that," or something close to those things. But then the police and stuff say that they don't really know if they can believe that, if that's real or authentic enough. Really? But then you want to believe everything else. So the other neighbors that had things to say about it, because they said that they didn't hear all of that, that they just heard some, some shots or whatever. Now that they're okay with, saying that that's authentic testimony of what they, on the night the Botham was killed. But the sisters, wasn't it sisters? I think it was sisters, because the sisters actually went to Attorney Merritt, Botham Shem John's family. They went to the attorney. They didn't even go to the police or the detectives, because obviously they felt like that they couldn't trust them. That's what I'm thinking, that obviously they felt like they couldn't trust them. They didn't even go to them. They went to Merritt, the attorney, and told the attorney what they heard and everything else. Then the police was supposed to be detectives or whatever was supposed to be going to talk to them. But based on the articles I read, they was basically saying, well, we don't really know if that's true. We don't even, how come you don't, if that's what they say they heard, then that's what they say they heard. But anyway, so then we have the county district attorney, Faith Johnson, that, guess what, people? She's black too. I mean, everyone is black. And what did she say? She said, because she had said something, whatever she said, basically, she said something along the lines of, it wouldn't be right to hurry up and jump to prosecute, trying to prosecute Amber. I don't know. I guess they trying to get all of their facts or something together. Whatever. End up reading the article basically saying that she's trying to be voted back in, or she's trying to be voted, or this has something to do with politics. And this is really politics. And that's why she's stagnating on this whole situation, and that she was getting, what is that called when people donate to your politic thing or whatever, that they were donating to her cause, and she was getting a whole lot of, oh, whatever. It's a whole bunch of scheminess going on with this, basically. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, we had seen some news earlier, about Amber back in September sometime where someone found some information on her Pinterest account that let us know that she was racist, that she made some racist comments about all Blue Lives Matter or something like that, and something about the Colin Kaepernick or whatever. It was just true telltale signs that she was racist, and that whole police bond thing that they have. But the weird thing about that, right, and then pictures surface of her family, and the family wearing Blue Lives Matter shirts or something like that, or All Lives Matter, I don't know. And then they said that her brother-in-law was holding up some signs to let you know that he was white supremacist or whatever the case may be. Here go the thing right here, people. First of all, I find it very interesting that we haven't even seen Amber. Where the hell is Amber? Ain't nobody seen Amber at all. Ain't nobody seen her walking down the street. She ain't went to the store, driving in the car. She don't come out on the porch. Where is Amber? Did they take her, and is she in witness protection? Where is she at? Did they move her to another state? Every time she come outside, is she wearing a costume? Where's her family? No one has seen her mama and them, her sister. I mean, come on now, like, we watch the news. People, they, like, they follow everyone on the news. Like, they always following somebody, and then the camera at a distance, and they're like, yeah, look at them coming out the house. Amber Geiger charged with killing Botham Shem John September 6th. And we see her leaving out now. She's going in. We ain't seen nothing. Ain't seen nothing about this woman since she was arrested. And we seen her inside the jail thing. That's the last time I seen her. What is going on? I mean, they are really good at hiding this woman. And just like this article that came out, and this article actually came out the other day. I seen it October 23rd because I told y'all that I do random checks just to see can we see anything. Because it's, because it's irritating me a little bit. It's a tad bit of irritation. Because I'm like, do these niggas think we forgot? Do they think that it has literally slipped our minds because we're not making any more videos about it? We're not necessarily talking about it. Ain't nobody forgot about anything. I'm just waiting to see what you gonna put. I'm just trying to see what you gonna say. Thank goodness for Botham's family doing something, trying to, of course they would, because we may be sitting back focusing on other things, and Dallas, they doing whatever they're doing. But Botham's family, like their son just got killed, their son, brother, cousin, grandson, nephew, friend, boyfriend just got killed last month. I mean, he just got killed. So for them, the pain and the hurt and everything is absolutely still there. So, if it wasn't for them filing the lawsuit against Dallas, so then there go an article right there. Then I just seen an article the other day that I posted on Geneva's Closet. Make sure you follow me on my Facebook page at Geneva's Closet, where they suing Amber. They are suing Amber Geiger. That's about it on that one. And then this article came out September 23rd from St. Lucia's Times. Shout out to St. Lucia's, because of course they're going to be writing articles, because that's a native of where Botham Shem John's family come from, St. Lucia. And this said that the social media accounts of fired Dallas officer Amber Geiger have come into question, and reports that police allowed Geiger ample time to scrub her online activity as they continue their investigation until the fatal shooting of Botham John. You ain't never lied. If it wasn't for whoever found that Pinterest account, and literally that was right after she killed them. So right after September 6th is when that starts surfacing. They done definitely went and wiped everything. Isn't that amazing how they work with their own kind? Isn't that amazing? Let me go on to write this. Reading this. In an interview with civil rights attorney Lee Merritt, stated, well, it says on the Pinterest page, it said Blue Lives Matter. Yep, just like I had said. And yeah, that's basically what it says with that. But it says, interest, police, Clarendon, who writes the status coup, noted Dallas Police Department hasn't only refused to release 911 calls from the night of the shooting, but has now given Geiger time to clear herself from any incriminating evidence on the web. Look, they ain't gave us no 911 calls. We ain't seen no videos of the garage. They even gave us a video of the garage, because many people, y'all was sitting up there questioning if she was on the 4th floor and she was supposed to be parked on the 3rd floor. Was the 4th floor just open where then you can see the sky? We wanted to see that. They ain't released that. They haven't released any video from the hallways. Is it cameras in the hallways? They ain't released that. They haven't said anything. Not anything. Anything about this girl. Merritt, who's representing John's family, said this isn't totally uncommon. That's what he said. It's quite common in cases of law enforcement officers. And we're dealing with cases very similar to the murder of Botham, where law enforcement officers are given every break, every leeway possible. They're given a chance when there's body camera footage to review that, to craft their narrative around it, and to scrub their social media. And we know Amber 31 is facing manslaughter, and then she thought that it was her apartment because she was delirious, and y'all came out and the people spoke. The people have spoken. I done seen tons of comments. I done seen people say that they was over in Iraq doing tours. So they was up for 24 hours. And they said at the end of that 24 hours, they knew exactly where they bunk, they bed, they thing was at. They said they knew exactly what tent they were going into. We done talked to people who work long hours. They said, I ain't never been that dang on delirious. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been sleepy, but I don't know nothing about that. Even talked to some truck drivers, said, really, bitch? I done drove for 18 hours straight. I ain't never been that delirious. Don't get me wrong, I was sleepy. I was definitely sleepy, but delirious to the fact that I don't even know where I'm going, and I don't know nothing about that. But that's what Amber, she was delirious. I don't even. Those are the type of police officers that we got working for us. Delirious police officers that they do 14 hours and they just done. It's a done dollar for them. They just going up in people places killing them. Just don't realize, can't see colors. The fire engine just don't know nothing. Let me see what else this says. This is talking about her. Wait a minute. This is talking about her Pinterest page. It says, Merritt says authorities seem to have overlooked the Pinterest account, which he said has existed for years and does not appear to be a mock account. It went on to detail a few very scary things the former officer shared on her page. She bragged about being violent, being short-tempered, he said. She bragged about the use of force, and she spoke out adamantly against things like kneeling during the anthem and said the NFL died of colon cancer, Colin Kaepernick, colon cancer, a reference to former NFL player Colin Kaepernick, who started taking the knee to protest racial injustice and police violence in America. The attorney also cited posts where Geiger wrote that folks were lucky if she went through the week without killing anyone and celebrated one shot, one kill. This is what was on her, yeah. And it says she expressed some very dark thoughts, said Merritt. So yeah, that article just came out the other day, and then the article just came out after that saying that the family, so this is probably like 2 days ago, that the family is suing Amber Geiger civil lawsuit. But what do y'all think about this whole thing? About them not really saying anything, it's I don't even I don't I haven't forgot. That's my whole purpose of making this video, is to let them know that we haven't forgot. Even want to let Botham Shem John's family know that we haven't forgot, because things tend to go in the media and it become a big thing and everyone is talking about it. Then all of a sudden it dies down. We're not saying anything about it anymore. It becomes a fight with the family, just the family and them. And then every so often when something come out, I guess we may report it, may say something about it. No, this case was pretty horrific just in the way that it happened. Like I said, he wasn't, like they couldn't use the excuses like how they did with all the other Black people. Like, that's just what I'm trying to say. All the excuses that they used with the other ones, just, he wasn't outside. He was in his own place. They definitely stick together, don't they? The police, the force, we already know that, but we're literally seeing this whole thing play out. She was an evil person. Where is she? We ain't seen her not a once. What is the what is the state's attorney lady doing? Is she really fighting? Is they going to, when is the case going to stop? Are they gathering more information? When is they going to release any other information to us? They don't even want to release any other information to us. I know they don't, because they know we're going to make a video about it and talk about it. We're going to pick apart everything that they said. Be like, Amber said, what? You said that you seen what? You showing us a video of her walking doing what? See, that doesn't even make any sense. So I'm pretty sure that they don't want to release anything else to us because they're never going to nitpick it and fully take it apart. But yeah, we have to, because we got to believe y'all. We're going to believe you all. And the way that you done sat here and handled this case, with the Black people being in there, which was surprising, the Texas Ranger, the state's attorney, the police chief, this being the Black man, Then people were saying that they felt like Amber Geiger was Botham's girlfriend. Then we found out Botham have a girlfriend, a black girlfriend. To me, that doesn't mean anything, you know. Yeah. We're still trying to figure out that whole thing. Were they dating? Did she know him? Feel like that she had to have known him because her story is just completely off. That just doesn't make any sense. That didn't make any sense to any of us. Majority of y'all I talked to, it didn't make any sense. Didn't make none of y'all it made any sense. It was like, no, she had to have known him. She knew what she was doing when she went up there, because you're just not that delirious that you don't see anything. And I could have sworn that they said that Amber had a huge plant. Did they say that Amber had a plant sitting outside her apartment when they showed that showed the inside of his the hallway of the apartment? Did they say that it was a huge plant sitting outside her apartment? I can't remember. They was telling us that everything looked the same, but you know, in the hallway, but he had that rug sitting outside his. But don't forget that we had got that police scan. Remember the police scan that I played in that other video that I did? It was like 30-minute video giving the whole breakdown of the case. Remember that police scan that they gave us on the night that he was shot? Y'all had something to say about that too. Y'all were like, we don't know if we can believe that. They probably done edited that, which we feel with everything at this point. Even if they did release a video to us of the hallway, the garage, would we even believe that at this point? It took you, it's going on 2 months since Botham was killed. November 6th will be 2 months since he was killed. At this point, would we even believe a videotape from them? Would we even believe listening to listening to her phone call when she called the police? Would we believe that? Probably not. Probably feel like that they done edited some things. But just wanted to come on here and talk about this whole case and let the city of Dallas know that I haven't forgotten. My people show letting me know that they ain't forgotten. And I'm just waiting. I'm doing my random checks, people, to find out what's going on. And when I find it out, I will be posting it on Geneva's Closet Facebook. We want to know, what are y'all going to do to this Amber girl? Is she going to be charged with some real time? Are they going to give her murder? Are they going to change it? Because when they say that they purposely didn't put certain words in the affidavit because then it would mean that it was murder, and they didn't want to put it as murder. They want to put it as manslaughter. Don't you remember in that video that that attorney said that if he was handling Amber's case based on the information that they done released and what she said happened, that she would get off? I was like, what? Y'all people, just stay tuned. We're going to see how this whole thing play out. We're going to see how this whole thing play out. Again, condolences to the whole entire Botham Shem John family, that you all have to sit up here and endure this while they are sitting up here tiptoeing on this whole process. And again, where is Amber? That's probably what I should have put in the title. Where in the hell is Amber Geiger? Where are y'all holding this woman at? Is she gonna be out on Halloween today dressed as a KKK member? Y'all watch out in Dallas, Texas. You might see Amber out there dressed as a KKK member or as a Nazi member. This is probably the time her and her family gonna come out dressed. Pay attention. Where the hell is Amber? The people want to know. Make sure that you like, share this video, and subscribe to Geneva's Closet if you haven't already done so. Stay tuned, people, because I have some other news. I'm not done. I'm coming right back, because I got some other news that we're going to talk about, because there's some crazy things going on in this world, isn't it? There's some crazy things. I don't know if you know about all of these things. We're going to talk about it. See you in a bit, people. Bye.